Now, you will lose the House, Senate, and presidency. I'm gonna say 10 years. Let's say at least 8.
Well, it's gonna be one of the worst things ever as far as balance.
I would
because if
say,
you thought the whole you about to see feminism Sharia law level shit is what they about to do.
I'm telling you, I will tell you this, because nigga, remember, you get the wrong bitch pregnant, you can no longer get an abortion.
No longer.
That's gonna be the first thing they take away.
Remember.
And when is this going to happen, sir?
We don't know.
Well, no. They'll decide within the next 2 weeks. That's why it's so dangerous, because he would literally go into his office on October 1st.
If you do this, Republicans, you will never win an election in the next. I'm gonna just say 20 years. I'm gonna say 20 years.
Say 20.
I'm gonna say, dude. Because some dudes want it. A lot of women want the choice. They don't care if it's out there. They want the choice.
Yeah, they want the choice, even if they're gonna be pro-life.
So if you put it out there, what's exactly about to happen?
So they're going to vote on Kavanaugh getting in.
Yeah,
if Kavanaugh gets in, then several states, I think it's Montana, Utah, and several other ones, they've had cases that have been tied up in the Court of Appeals.
Right.
But you need it to go there so that you can go to your state Supreme Court, and then from your state Supreme Court, then you can go to the actual Supreme Court.
All right.
If you bring a case on abortion there, we have 4 conservative jurors right now who would vote for it. Judges. Right. And so 4 Democrats who would vote against it. But if Kavanaugh gets in, that makes it 5, which means they get to decide and reshape the law of abortion. Now, what they could do,
law of abortion if that goes into play?
They're going to take away the right for you to have an abortion.
They're going to take it away. I think they're going to chip at it. They're going to chip at it, try to throw it to the states' issues, and the states are going to be able to chip at it. But any kind of chip at it, I think there should be levels of.
I don't think they're going to actually say. I don't think they're actually going to.
No, conservatives have been wanting that. Conservatives have been wanting that for forever. That's what they've been wanting for.
They will die on that issue, and they will.
They are worse than the Catholic Church when it comes to that, because Catholic Church is like, we don't believe in you using contraceptives, no condoms. If you get AIDS, you get AIDS. If you don't, you don't.
They are.
But conservatives in Bible Belt, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and also Arkansas, and sometimes West Virginia, and of course Texas to a certain extent. No, they have wanted for the longest time, Arstead, for them to take that away, because they feel that you're in God's country. God has ordained America as the best country. Anything America does is right. America's never done wrong. And you can see where the bullshit is.
You're pushing their view as kind of a dick move, but anyway.
Well, no. It's not. I'm not pushing it as a dick move. I'm pushing it as this is what they believe, because this is what many of them do believe. Now, are there some moderates in there? Yeah. I mean, you see most of Metro Atlanta is fairly moderate. I mean, they still want police to get away with whatever, but they don't push like abortions, or like, you don't see protests in Atlanta over abortion rights like you see it in other states.
Let me ask you this right now. Out of every, let's just do a little thing here. Out for every 100 women, how many of them have abortion?
At least 30%.
Probably 30%.
30%, right?
Higher in African American and other minorities.
40 to 50%, right?
Yeah.
40 to 50%.
Okay, so let's put that into aspect. So when we say that, and
I don't say 60. It's bad.
Okay, 60 then.
Yeah.
Okay. How much money do you think they would be losing if they were to do that?
I don't think it's about
No, it's not about the money. Because remember, Planned Parenthood is government funded.
This is not about money.
No, this is not about money. This is about quote-unquote family values. Yeah. So the problem here is that if you do that, you're going to essentially you're going to make the worst kind of single mother. And that's the kind of single mother who does not like the fact that they were forced into it. We saw this in Romania, and that's why their government was overthrown. Because literally a dictator said no more abortions.
You think Trump would let them do it?
No, Trump would. Trump has been wanting to prove to conservatives that he's actually conservative, because he's taken so many L's, they don't know whether he is or he isn't.
They are going to lose everything if they really go through it.
Everything.
No, I'm serious. And number one, I think the first thing to go is lifetime appointments for the Supreme Court.
Yeah, because if Democrats got back in, that would be one of the first things they'd take away. They'd no longer allow that, because they want to get Clarence. They want to get Clarence Thomas off the bench to begin with, because he's fucking unstable.
Thurgood Marshall.
Yeah,
what the fuck? Why did they do that? And that was Democrats that let him in.
Well, he had one of the most contentious ones of record. He had, I think, 63 to like 45, and like 2 people were like, I'm not even fucking voting on this. Well, basically, they wanted to get a black person in because he was
House and the Congress at the time, or did they? No, hell no.
No, they didn't hold both.
Because Nixon was the guy. They nigga got. I think he has the highest approval of. I'm sorry. What am I thinking of? He had the highest win percentage of any president when he first got elected.
Nixon?
No, I'm thinking of Reagan.
I was about to say. I think you think you're Reagan.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Reagan. It was the second term. It was lower, but Nixon. I mean,
he had mostly red and purple. Like there was still a few blues, California, Nevada, Washington, but most of it was purples. And purple generally means it depends on the issue.
Yeah, the issue.
Yeah, if they do that, honestly, dude, I think they're committing political suicide. And they're going to sit up there and every Republican who's in there now, they're all going to get knocked out. At least 90% of them. I would say at least 90% of them. They're committing political suicide. It's just some things you don't touch. You don't touch abortion. You don't touch your voting rights. Even though you see Republicans trying to go after voting rights.
No, they aren't trying to go after voting rights. They're succeeding. Because all Republicans are doing is they're suppressing it. They're making it harder for people who do vote. Older people, people who have time. Like, they're making it harder for those votes because those votes are often the minority votes that swing elections. Yeah. Like the whole Andrew Gillum thing in Florida, which shout out to Andrew. We definitely riding for you, bro.
Andrew!
But the reason that Florida people are trying right now to do as much as they can to chip away at older people voting is because they know older people generally vote with emphasis on the issues. And Democrats tend to be a lot better at least communicating them than Republicans often are, especially since the open thing of the Republican guy was, we don't want to monkey Florida up, monkey this up. It's like, all right, by invoking monkey, what you're essentially saying is this man is better than you. So you're sinking down to the lowest common denominator. Also, the fact that your president has mentioned this man like 3 times, even though your race ain't even started really, bro. Like, he literally just got the Democratic nomination. He just put on that white boy, Clark, who is very well known in the Democratic circles, which is good because Clark is going to be his Joe Biden. He's a person who's got all the political clout. He knows all the players, and he can run the field.
Quick question. Would you vote for Joe Biden if you ran for president?
It depends on who his vice president is.
I wouldn't vote for him.
If his vice president is someone super liberal like Bernie Sanders, yeah, I would.
If he get is Cory Booker or Kamala Harris.
If it's Cory Booker, it depends on how he campaigns. If Cory Booker campaigns okay, I definitely vote for him. If it's Kamala Harris, I probably wouldn't vote for him. That's a double.
Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders ticket.
Elizabeth Warren would never run though. She
keeps saying she don't want to run, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, I feel like if we lose the right to abortion, I feel like that will preempt her to run.
Well, if they lose the right to abortion.
Well, I mean, when they lose, we lose.
We definitely lose.
What I'm saying to you is, number one, men shouldn't be making this decision for women because
we shouldn't. We shouldn't make the decision for women. But you need to have the right for someone who's like, hey, this was a fun time, but I'm not trying to advocate at this point to have that, because otherwise you're essentially forcing two people into a family. Because that's a point we're going to touch on later. It's two people. It's two people making this family. It's not one person.
Should be involved in that shit either way it goes. It's none of your goddamn business.
None of your goddamn
business. To choose to do with their fucking children.
Yeah, man.
Not have children or whatever.
It's almost like a government devil, like a government devil. Like the next subject I'm going into. MGK released that Rap Devil track. I'm switching to music now. And he had many words for Eminem. Many words.
Let's talk about it.
He was basically like, I used to look at you as a king. You used to be the man. Your daughter is still safe. I don't know. I've never been a person who's like, it's okay to go after somebody's daughter. Like, I don't care how hot she is. I don't care if she's motherfucking Beyonce. Like, you don't go
after. My thing is this. Like, I'm going to say this. What exactly, like, did he say? Like, or did he just say, "Oh, Eminem's daughter is hot"? Like,
no, that's one of the things he said originally that got Eminem to diss him back in 2011.
But see, that's the thing about that. Like, how you gonna get mad at somebody saying that your daughter looks nice? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just
sir, you don't say that about somebody in the same business.
You don't have a daughter.
Also true. Like, would you Reed, if you were in Eminem's position, you would have probably tried to whoop that motherfucker's ass.
Wait a minute. Wait. This is what I'm saying.
Okay, I go, Armstead. I'm sitting right here in the building with you. We are, let's say, assume 15 years from now. I go, man, your daughter kind of fine, but she can get it. You would look at me like I was fucking crazy.
Okay, The fact that you said she can get it, that's where you went wrong. But for you to say that, hey man, my daughter, looks good. Thanks, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
But he didn't say it like that.
Hey, she could get it.
You got a weird vainness to yourself, man.
How I got a weird vainness?
That is a weird vainness.
When somebody were to come up to me and say, "Hey man, your daughter looks nice,"
whatever,
whatnot, that's wrong.
I don't believe you.
For somebody to come to me and tell me that my daughter looks nice, I'm wrong.
Sorry, it was 2012. Let me correct that.
Give us his exact statement.
Okay.
It depends on what he said. Like if he was just posting on there.
So I just saw a picture of Eminem's daughter. I have to say, she's hot as fuck in the most respectful way possible.
In the most respectful way possible.
You can't say that respectfully. You cannot say another man's daughter is hot respectfully.
The word hot, yeah, okay. I can
hot as
fuck.
That.
Hot as fuck. Okay, yeah, but I don't know. I guess there's particular levels to it.
You have a niece, right?
The word hot.
You have a niece.
Yeah, I have a niece.
You'd be okay with me saying,
man, your niece is
bad,
as fuck.
She hot as fuck, boy. She get 8 days a week.
I'm telling you, she bad, boy.
I'm about to come for her, man.
Boy, think about it.
No, I'm fucking right. Yeah, I just.
That's like a grown woman. I don't know. I guess you want to go.
But to be honest, to be on a serious note though, like I feel like if he would have said it different. You know what I'm saying? He probably said what he said, but he didn't
gotta be said, man.
Yeah, true.
You can have those thoughts like, man, damn, your mom, she gonna bad when she grow up. Now you don't say that shit.
No, you don't. There's just some things that you would never do.
Even if you know that she's freaking gorgeous, like if you're like, well, I have a friend. She's had a baby. I guess she has a daughter who's like. She had a baby in high school, and her daughter, I'm going to be honest with you, she's going to be an attractive young lady when she grows up. Yeah. And even right now,
you see the difference in what you said?
Lady.
Even though, see how you said it just now?
Right, but honestly,
but he said honestly, she's going to be an attractive lady.
I'm only being tempered because the bitch is fine. She is 16 years old, and she is fucking fine.
Like somebody
and I'm telling
she is thick.
Listen, I'm telling you, she is fucking fine.
I understand that, but
like, I would never say, I looked and I was like, who the fuck, that's your daughter?
Your daughter finer than you?
Yes, her daughter is finer than her.
Yeah. All I'm saying is like
her daughter's 16. It's like, oh my fucking god.
There's definitely ways to saying it. You know what I'm saying? There's like somebody coming to you and be like, hey man. You know what I'm saying? When your daughter grows up, man, you're gonna have to get you a shot.
For your daughter though, it's never gonna be okay for somebody to say it, especially when y'all in the same industry.
It's what I said, it's what I said and how I said it.
No, I get your point. You're saying that there are ways to say it. Yeah. What we're saying is that is never going to be acceptable. That is never going to be an acceptable way to say it.
So you mean if he were to come to Eminem and be like, hey man, I respect you.
What the fuck are you talking that with me for? Like it's weird, bro. What are we saying?
No, exactly.
I mean, supposedly.
No. I agree with the fact.
Weren't they cool at one point in time?
I don't know if they were cool.
They weren't cool, but they weren't beefing.
They weren't.
That's what I'm saying. And for him, like if he would have came up to him and been like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, you know what I'm saying? I love your music, blah blah stuff like that. Hey man, I see your daughter, man. She done grew up into a fine young lady, man. I'm pretty sure you gotta get a shotgun for her. Like when he be like, "Hey man, what the fuck you talking about?"
But that statement in itself is problematic because you should never. Again, I would be more okay with you hollering at the girl on the side and just not saying anything at all than for you to come up to a grown man and say his daughter is fine.
Okay, I just saw the picture of Eminem's daughter. ... And I have to say she is hot as fuck in the most respectful way possible because Eminem is king.
Exactly.
He didn't. If you should have just said nothing. Because he knew what he said was some bullshit. Because he had to add, we would respect. You don't respect somebody if you got to say, respect. Respect is just not having a thought. Thoughts cross your mind. I'm sorry you're an adult. It happens.
Yes.
But you just don't say it.
One day you're going to see somebody's daughter. You're going to be like, she is hot as fuck.
Not even that.
But you're not going to say anything to her. You're not going to say anything to anybody else. You're going to keep it to yourself. Every thought doesn't need to be said.
That's like me and your homies and they with some chick. You like. You see her, you be like. And then when they break up, y'all broken up. So is there any rules with this one? Or
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Again, that's something you just don't say. Yeah, you just don't say. You just don't do. Because there's got to be rules to it. There's plenty of women out here. There's plenty of people. You can't say that, oh, well, you mean she was just so fine. No woman's that fine. No woman's that fine.
No, because there's always a better looking.
There's always going to be someone who's better, thicker, ass is fatter, smarter, Better with the money.
Who cares if she's